for sure live? Yeah, that's me. All right, just confirming. So let me start the actual feed on radiovegas.rocks. Go to radiovegas.rocks to support our sponsors and click on banners. And what? That's right. It's Greasy Conversation, the podcast, the talk show, the news program. We are so back. We've rarely been backer. Last week, you remember we had Turbo Ted? It was a super first half music episode. Man, go check that one out.
That was legit, man.
So good.
Dude.
It's heartbreakingly good. Hardware electronic music set, DAWless. Yeah. We got Jules Manning, the bass player from We Are Pancakes.
Best in town.
Dude, I played with, we shared stages since this kid was just out of high school. Good buddy. Gold Boot. Dude, this guy was on the LED screen at the Cosmopolitan hanging over the strip playing for Gold Boot. Super proud of this guy. He's been on before. It's been super fun. Jules Manning.
Yeah, I'm going to make a BLP prediction.
Ooh, like a prediction about Bud Light Platinum?
Yeah. That's been like our best in town's tradition.
Oh.
The last few times, it's always been like,
you think
we're shilling for BLP?
He's going to remember to bring us some BLP, you think?
Might.
Because
I thought about stopping us, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to drink any.
Producer confessions. I started with some regular BL today.
Yeah. Nice.
No, we've had a huge string of the podcast, us not having drinking on it. Like, not on purpose. It's just, things get phased out. But today, I've had a pair of Bud Lights. So just fair disclosure. It's not a sponsor. It's just an excuse is all that is.
I had one of those like life moments where I woke up and realized like there's like a level where you're too much Andy Rooney. And like I crossed that level, and then once I crossed that, it was like, oh, can't drink anymore, sorry. So we're just not standing for it. You're too Andy Rooney now. You got to bitch about fucking rubber bands and paper clips and office drawers and shit.
That's what happens to you. You get extra complainy.
Yeah.
You just become too old for things when you...
Oh, yeah. like an old soul since I was like 5, dude.
Yeah, you came out wrinkly.
Yeah. Fucking did a promotion since back in the day.
Totally.
All right.
So, that's the deep, echoey, ominous tone of us getting into some dank news that you might have should have heard already. Why don't we, Jules is going to want to talk about part of this. But I'm tempted to just dive right into the 5G stuff and just leave that not dangling. Because
go for it, man.
I've been up in 5G, y'all. So
because I'm interested too. Because I honestly don't know much about that shit. So
it turns out it's really fragile. Like the 5G, people are worried about getting hurt by the 5G. No, the 5G gets hurt by you. You walking around blocking it and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everything blocks it. It doesn't go very far. Everything absorbs it. It
doesn't like travel through anything.
No, it doesn't like traveling through crap. So what I got a gig styling the user interface because that art and technology tip, but also because I can program microcontrollers. Mm-hmm. This thing has a FPGA brain, which those alone are really interesting. Imagine a processor that isn't put together as a processor yet. It's just like blank chippage. And you can like put all the like gates inside the chip how you want them as these different pockets of what the guts of a processor does. Like over here, you can this chunk's going to be cache. This chunk's going to be the front side bus. This chunk's going to be the part that talks to all the pins. And you can like set that up in the processor. And then a second step, you actually put the actual firmware, the actual code it runs on.
So like that part of arranging it how you want. Mm-hmm. Like you do that? You know how to do that shit?
No.
I'm like, that sounds crazy. Like, how the fuck do you even do that?
Yeah, I'm working with someone with a PhD in microwaves.
Oh, okay.
And that person's dealing with like how you can steer the beam. This is another crazy thing. And I'm on a non-disclosure agreement, so I can't like tell all kinds of stuff, but I can totally There's nothing about the safety or anything that's like hidden or anything.
We're just like, yeah, what
Yeah.
5G does. Yeah.
We walk in the way of the beam like all the time. It's like no big deal. Like wave your hand in front of it. We just don't hang out in front of it.
Yeah. Just like don't set up shop underneath.
So this is a relay device. All it does is pick up the 5G on one side of a corner. Like it hangs on a corner, and one antenna peeks around one side of the corner to talk to the base station. The other antenna peeks around the other side of the corner and has a wide beam to catch a handful of 5Gists, a handful of people that have only the latest Samsung phone. The only thing that'll do it.
It's
So-
like what, like $1,500, two grand
Yeah,
now.
only people with phones that cost 1.5 expensive phones.
Yeah.
So the crazy thing is it can steer the beam without mechanical stuff. It can just send other beams along next to the beam and make the beam narrower or wider and aim it.
Whoa.
Kind of like the vents in a Tesla. You can aim where the vent blows around in the car because there's other air that pushes on the air coming out
Oh, wow.
to push the air around instead of aiming it with louvers.
Yeah.
This is sort of like that, the best I can understand it. But no, I do a lot of programming Arduinos and Raspberry Pis and flashing something that's already got its little processor formed. So this is a next level, but the person that did the bit stream, it's called, that actually sets up what the FPGA is like shaped like inside, that's done, and also there's the code to go on it. And those two pockets need to be put on this other EEPROM, this other memory that loads when it boots. So when this thing boots, it has to read about what it is to become, and then it reads about what it's going to run once it's become that.
Oh, damn.
Instead of a normal computer that just reads what it's going to do, but
Yeah,
it's
but,
already
like,
is what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's crazy.
And it's this thing called NIOS that's a processor that runs on the FPGA. So it acts like a little, kind of like an ARM processor on there.
Wow.
It's a little RISC processor. But it could be RISC, CISC, it could pretend to be a 386. It's the same processor that's like in a lot of guitar effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when they'll digitally model an amp and stuff, sometimes there'll be some actual hardware modeling up in this chip.
Wow.
It's really amazing.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, so 5G is crazy. I don't have any like dirt about lack of safety. More like the lack of safety for the poor 5Gs struggles to get by.
Yeah.
Because it's really why we put up with this, why it's even a thing when it's such a difficult frequency range, is because you can just fit so much more data.
Oh, really? That's the...
Yeah, that's why it is. It's this is already public, so I'm like careful what I say about it. We're working with like a major cell phone provider, and it's millimeter wave. And this band that 5G uses, the little waves, even though you can't see them, they're just like a few millimeters big, whereas like a FM wave is like, especially
huge
like
wide.
AM can be like many, many meters. FM can be like arm span kind of situation. Don't quote me on that. But the physical size, that's also why the little holes in the metal grate in your microwave that you look through, the microwaves can't make it through the little holes. That's
Yeah.
why you can look into the microwave. It's just crazy to think that they have a physical size like that,
Yeah.
even though you can't
Hell,
see
man.
them.
It trips me out like a like processor that like
Can be whatever processor.
but like learns what it is
Yeah.
first, and then has to like run the programming to like do that stuff.
Yeah.
Trips me out. Imagine if like you had to wake up every day and like figure shit out from scratch, man.
Yeah,
Fuck
like
that, dude.
you can wake up one day and get reconfigured as like a gazelle, and then
Yeah.
another day you're reconfigured as like a dining room table.
Oh, best in town.
These are also common for LED stuff, because in LED stuff you have like this one thin little Cat5 cable that has really fast data, but you have to have all this data go to all these little lights, right? So you branch it off into these slower branches. Like, so you have this fast hose of water. We have some water go over here, some water go over here. All these different places you send it off to can move slower and alongside each other to go to different chunks of the screen, as long as it comes in fast enough. And an FPGA can kind of be like the river delta that like spreads it all out, because you can arrange the gates inside to do that. Or you can make them be a processor. That really tripped me out, because I didn't know before this that an FPGA could just be a processor. I thought it was always for like dealing with data flowing through it, or like audio stuff with guitar effects. That's
Yep.
like a big model-y kind of thing. Anyway, Jules is here. Holla. Cheer.
What's up?
Oh, yeah, I have to turn your mic on. That's part of the thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
Climb
can
in
bring
there,
that.
gobbled up. Dude, we haven't seen each other in too long.
I
Yeah, it's been a
know,
long ass time, dude.
Yeah, I went into a little bit of self-imposed exile there.
Yeah,
and,
did you, like, I do that cyclically.
Yeah, it's been nice. It's been nice. And yeah, now it's old best in town, but I got a couple new tricks, so it's been,
Nice,
it's been
nice.
very nice.
Okay, name one new trick.
Hmm.
A new trick
No, you
on the
put
spot.
me on the spot.
Oh, yeah. I want a specific trick. Did you juggle now? He juggles now, you guys.
Actually, one fun thing I've been experimenting with. I never knew Fender 6s were so fun. So I've been like I got one and I've been exclusively just playing with it for almost 6 months straight.
What's a Fender 6?
It's a
Like a 6-string bass? Because I was
No,
like, Fender guitars usually have 6 strings.
no, it's a baritone guitar.
Oh!
But it's amazing. It plays like a Fender Jaguar, but it has these like I would say like bass strings, but it sounds like a guitar sometimes too.
Yeah,
It-
baritones are cool.
It's so fun.
I always wanted a Dan Electro baritone.
I've been seeing those, yeah, because after I got mine, like a dum-dum, I tuned it to standard and almost ruined it.
Damn.
And so my neck completely bowed, and I
Oh,
took it to my
no.
guitar guy, and he was like, "What'd you do?" But
Oh, damn.
So I got like a crash course, and I went through like the history of like the Dan Electros and all that stuff. So it's been amazing.
Nice.
Learning journey.
Yeah, trying to pull one up real quick. All right. No, don't stop talking because I'm looking at these things.
Okay.
So if you go to greasyconversation.com for you audio listeners, you can actually see a video feed of what we're looking at too. Baritone guitars is just it's just a longer neck.
It's such a freaky little guitar, though. It's like depending on what you do, you can make it sound like a bass or a guitar, and that's some like 2030 stuff to me, even though they were doing this back in like the 60s.
And like, are the strings? I don't know if you said that. I might have misspaced. Now, are the strings different?
Got to be a little bit thicker.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm thinking.
they're a little thicker,
Or like in between?
but it's like
guitar and bass.
it's not so much where it's like, whoa, I'm playing bass, but it can be. It's a trip.
That's cool.
If you play guitar out there or even bass and you want to start like playing guitar, I would definitely get one because it's probably like the best thing for you. If you're like one of those tweeners where you like to play guitar but you're stuck playing bass, definitely get one of those.
Yeah, one of those tweeners.
Damn.
Yeah.
Tweeters.
So we were just talking about how I'm doing like 5G stuff now. But because I'm not with the corporation, it's like part-time, high per hour, and I can like set my own hours and stuff.
So can you explain
So-
5G to me? Because everything I've heard about it sounds horrifying. Like-
See, everything that I heard about it before working with it just made me think, wow, it sounds like such a pain in the butt to like have faster data. Because like the real facts on it, I'll talk about not what it can do for you, like how 5G might harm a human. It's all about how literally everything harms 5G. Like it just doesn't make it through anything. Everything, it barely goes very far. Everything absorbs it. It's just really difficult. Because what happens is, kind of like when you have a CD and you make the light smaller. You just use a smaller light, smaller wavelength of light. The light's actually tinier. You can fit more on it. And then you have DVD. Then you have Blu-ray. But just using tinier light. Similarly, radio waves are also on the electromagnetic spectrum. And when you can use tinier of them, it's a higher frequency, you can fit more data. But it also means that it doesn't go as far and it doesn't go through things as well.
So that would mean you'd lose service quicker with 5G, right?
Yeah, you'd have to fall back on 4G and 3G when you don't have coverage. And the coverage infrastructure is dramatically harder to build up.
Yeah. How do they even like get it quicker then? I mean, it'd be like, what's the point of 5G if it goes out like that?
Well, we might not do a lot of things with how small screens are on phones right now with 5G over 4G when already as many pixels as fit on this little phone before you notice. Because like a 10K phone, you're not seeing It's like so.
Like, why would you need that, dude?
Yeah.
Even like a 4K phone, like what the get out of here. Get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here,
Yeah,
man.
there's people that actually.
Yeah, that's actually what I meant to say. Like 4K on a phone, like you can barely tell 1080p phones from a 721. It's like you have to put it way closer to your face than you're going to enjoy content on.
Right?
So like a normal consumer is not going to need that high speed of data. But when you have an infrastructure like that, then you can start to really wean off of providers like Cox and CenturyLink and start using that as your main connection.
Oh, fuck yeah.
A lot stronger than you can with 4G. It also sets up like, I want to say like medical infrastructure and all kinds of like infrastructure that can move onto that and it can hold it better and not get as overwhelmed because you've got like bandwidth to spare.
Yeah.
And so you use it in like really highly populated areas first, and then people can hopefully get their stuff and get off it quicker. And so hopefully you don't need to use 5G as long because you're getting your stuff delivered quicker.
So it's almost like a hotspot in a way.
Yeah, you're kind of moving in and out of hotspots all the time outdoors on the cell phone, but like it'll switch to 5G when you're in a nice little bubble of it when it can, and when you have a phone a couple years down the road.
Yeah. I remember back in the day when like the goal was to get phones smaller.
Yeah.
And then phones got super tiny, and now I see phones getting bigger and bigger to where like
Yeah, now the phablet.
you'll see like girls like walking and their phone is just sticking out of their pocket by like an inch or two. Like, it's crazy.
People got to get leashes for their phones and shit.
Soon we're gonna like just go back in time and we're gonna have like the huge brick phones again.
Yeah, I always thought it'd be cool to like get one of those and gut the side of it and just put a phone, like a modern phone in the side of it, the broad, flat side that it has, but still like have forever battery.
No lie, when I was a kid, my dad had one of those briefcase phones.
Yeah.
And he would
What?
carry it with him.
Was it the
everywhere.
soft one where there was a soft bag?
And it was so funny. He'd be like, "Oh, I have to make a call," and then you just pulled the briefcase.
Damn.
All the battery's dead. Can I plug it in your garage where your dryer? Can I unplug your dryer really quick and plug this in?
And the great part about those phones is that they were so unreliable. He was always struggling. I can't hear you. No. I'll just call you from a payphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those were analog, and then when it was going into the digital days, like I remember talk radio sucked then, because they'd just be like, it would just be like, hey, you have a caller, and then okay, call back when you get home. Call back from a landline. It'd just be caller after caller would be calling on the freeway. Yeah, and like the analog, you could tell when it was someone analog because they're all staticky, and you can tell when it was someone digital because they would just lose every other word.
Yeah.
It's just like neither one was good.
Yeah, Erica Brown says our phones stick out of our pockets because pockets in girls' clothes are a sham.
Yeah,
Very true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Get those ladies some pockets.
yeah. Girl clothes are there's like a conspiracy.
Right?
Yeah,
I always wonder if there's like some
it's like multiple conspiracies.
clothes designers that like are women who try to make like just tons of clothes with pockets all over the place because like there's just no pockets. They're like, no, you just got like one big pocket.
That's
like,
the
you just wear a
future.
pocket.
It's going to be overcompensation. You know how like there's cycles of clothes designs having extra fabric and then back to like hardly any fabric. Like in times of low economic strength, clothes have very little fabric and it's very skimpy. When in rich times you have like the zoot suits and the showing off extra giant lapels and extra fabric. And that cycle is going to lead to women's clothing that are like cargo pants.
Right?
That's gonna be so good. Bring back the zippers. Like we had like the pants that had like the 3 zippers. You can make them shorts.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
God,
like
dude.
a load-bearing girlfriend that can really be a pack mule for me. I can load her down, produce, supplies, cabling. Here you go. Hold my toolkit.
Just weighed down.
Totally. Just weigh her down. That's a way to get fit.
That is true. But in an emergency, that'd be a fire hazard, I would think.
No, you just drop your pants and run. Just wear underwear.
What
Yeah.
happened? What happened to you guys? Don't worry about it.
Where's all my tools? Like there was a fire. I had to run away. You let my tools burn down? Fired. Dresses with pockets are freaking cute.
And then Buck
Hard
comes
cute.
in with the Jankos. Like
Janko!
Jankos
The Janko jeans.
should be coming
Alright.
around again.
I actually saw a commercial, and I don't know why Facebook is marketing that to me, but Janko jeans are a thing again.
I know exactly why Facebook's marketing that to you.
We know who would like these.
Those
Jules.
algorithms look at you. They see your pictures. Like, what time period is this person
Right?
dressing
Yeah,
in?
I still like look at pictures of my kangaroos and miss them, man. I still reminisce.
Yeah, I'm like Googling pictures. There's a Janko fishing. I know I spelled this wrong.
Yeah, it's like Jaco. No, Janco.
Yeah, it's
Who remembers?
man, this situation here.
Oh
Where-
God.
Like the bottom of the pant leg is significantly bigger around than this person's waist.
I used to have some that were like that, dude. No lie.
Yeah.
Multiple pairs.
Did you ever trip?
Nah.
That's incredible.
No, because
Not
you get them and
physically.
they like hover just above the ground.
Yeah, you
Like-
get it tailored right.
Yeah, and then it just your feet just kick them.
Now I'd wear these while tripping if that's what you're asking.
Yeah,
That's great.
Of course,
yeah, those would be comfy tripping pants.
Trying to get lost, man.
So Erica's talking on the chat about Buck needing his own purse. I'm very, very pro man bag. Like Angela test, I was man bagging it.
There ain't
day.
nothing wrong with a man bag,
there's
dude.
no, it's just a briefcase.
Yeah.
It's a very small briefcase.
Men just need their purses to be very rectangular,
The
very
mer-
squared off.
The Merce.
Trying
Look
to
at
bring,
this
trying to
little
bring back the
one.
fanny pack.
No, I like this little one. Look, it's the same color as the logo. It looks like it holds a CD player. Those bags, it's just like a CD player, and it holds like a little CD pouch.
Oh, they need to bring those back. CD players and things that hold CD players.
Yeah, I'm not going to put a CD player in it, but I love that form factor. This. Oh, I want
That's
it.
the one.
It's probably $10. I'll probably look at the cheapest thing ever, but look at this. Buy me this, you guys. That's worked. Not here to me. It's never worked for me, but that works for some people.
Yeah, that's
Hey, buy
amazing.
this for me.
That's
Okay.
amazing how people do that. I wish people liked me that much.
One day. We get Zip Fizz though. Yo, you know what we get? I shouldn't complain because compared to other podcasts, we're like totally not doing bad. Kicker Audio, powerful Kicker Audio. Good time to plug them because they already gave us headphones and then gave us headphones again for both studios. But recently they gave us speakers. So I don't know. Yeah, you can see them right on this camera in the corner. Top this camera, is it you? Let me show every camera. Okay, so that white fella, this is a weatherproof speaker. We've got these in the backyard, outside and inside. Kicker Audio. We can't kick these speakers hard enough. I kicked them several times trying to get them out of the box because I know they're durable. They
Kick back. Oh,
yeah, we take them off the wall and toss them back and forth for sport. If you need speakers that can handle that, Kicker Audio. They're famous for car subs.
Really?
Yeah.
So the bass is ridiculous on those.
It's though the bass actually really balanced on those, but the bass capability is surprising.
Okay.
But it's not overbearing. Just like these headphones are not overly bassy.
There's not a bunch of crack if you push them.
No, it's like you really want to push it like Wayne Static, who I found out died.
Yes.
A long
that
ass
was,
time
that
ago.
was it? I thought it was
Yeah.
fairly recent.
No,
couple
I
I
years?
think
long
we
enough.
even reported it a really long time ago. But
I don't even know. Like that seems.
I'm just bringing it back up. Is part of it.
Also, speaking of sponsors, whatever happened to the sponsorship with Bud Light Platinum?
I don't know, man.
I
We
was
had
thinking
a
about
bet
that.
on
I
if you would
was
bring
like, I was like,
if you would
I-
bring some.
Yeah,
Dustin Town gonna bring some?
I personally parted ways recently with Bud Light Platinum.
Yeah,
Now I have I've personally signed a partnership with Foster's.
No.
Foster's beer. It goes good on the beach. It goes good with the meat. It has that cool,
Goes
refreshing.
good with the meat.
It goes good with any meat. It has
Foster's
that
ain't
cool,
bad.
refreshing taste.
Yeah.
It's very good.
You gotta get
Foster's
used to it. It's a little funky at first, but you get used to it.
Yes, and it's very cheap. $3, 2
Yeah.
cans.
It tastes more
True.
expensive than it is.
Yes, very
Yeah.
true.
It tastes like it's punching above its class.
It's like right between frat boy beer. It's like if you don't want to drink Pabst and you want to feel a little bit better about yourself, drink Foster's.
The problem with Foster's is just that it has that Australian stigma where I just think it's going to kill me like every other thing that's in Australia. Yeah. I just think I'm going to have to like eat eucalyptus with it or something.
Like a can's just gonna like fall off the shelf that wasn't supposed to be there and just clock you in the head. And
Smash
They-
my
they-
toe.
Dunzo.
They
Yeah.
are really durable cans. They're surprisingly thick.
Oh yeah, if you like break someone's head open with those things. They're like 25.5 ounces. I'll fuck around.
So at least someone got me goldfish for my birthday. Heck yes. I didn't find any conjoined ones. Did you see there's a conjoined?
Oh god, dude.
I know I'm gonna try to keep it brief this time, but on eBay there was double conjoined goldfish,
Huh.
like not just one pair but two pairs the same age.
From the same pack.
So did
Just
it
two
did
goldfish
it
stuck
live
together.
twice as long as a normal goldfish?
If you have them, you live forever
Yeah.
because you get to live in infamy, never forgotten, as the person that had two conjoined pairs of goldfish the same age, not some moldy one in one display case, and then another time in my life I found another pair of conjoined goldfish, but no, two conjoined pairs. It's incredible.
I worry about what that would say for my legacy though. It's like that's the goldfish guy.
Worth
You
it.
know?
Listen, Lord curse me with that legacy.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotta be known for something.
The goldfish life chose you.
That's
Right.
right. That gold life.
Damn.
That actually
Alright.
kind of wants me. That makes me kind of want a goldfish now. What did you name your goldfish?
Oh, like the pet ones?
Yeah.
Because I'm still on the cracker zone. Anything that can be a cracker, I think it's the cracker version. Like if you talk about clubs, like, oh, did you have a club growing up? I immediately think, oh, like club crackers? I ate lots of them. Just any word that can also be a cracker, I assume you're talking about the cracker version.
Oh damn.
Keebler, I'm like, oh, not the elves or anything. They totally had crackers.
And also,
Okay, goldfish pet names. What were your goldfish pet names there in the chat? And like,
I like Jerome for a goldfish pet name.
absolutely.
The goldfish named Jerome. That's pretty good.
I feel it. They look kind of Jerome-y.
I like giving pets like names that you could would be a very average human,
Yeah.
like Stan or Bob.
Or like a cat that's named like Eric.
Dude,
Eric, get over
pets,
here.
pets with human names trip me out. Dude.
So funny.
Which I've never named like any of my animals shit like that.
Cat's name Gary.
I knew someone with a cat that would get really upset if you took off his bow tie. He had like a comfort bow tie. He just always had
awesome.
it since a kitten.
The
and-
emotional support bow tie.
yeah, it was really important to him.
That's funny.
He'd like carry it in his mouth to you and put it back on if it fell off.
Oh damn.
I had a cat that would go get the laser pointer and bring it to me so I could make the laser pointers shine around for him to chase.
My,
He loved chasing the laser that much.
my
Yeah.
cat has an obsession with flushing the toilet, so that's fun.
What?
He figured it out, and now he won't stop.
He just flushes it all the
I-
time and loves
I'll
it.
wake up at 5 a.m. I'm like, bud, I appreciate you, but that's very impressive.
Does he use the toilet?
No,
I
he
had a-
just
You're
flushes
so
it.
close. You got the
He's
first
so
half.
close. I just wish he would just commit.
Yeah, I had a cat that used the toilet.
Like fully use the
Yeah, I
toilet?
would sit on the toilet and like piss in the toilet.
What was the training process for that?
I don't
For
know,
you?
like when I grew up, we had like 6 or 7 cats in the house. We just had cats like every fucking where. So like it's no big deal to have a cat just chill in the bathroom all day. And I guess he just like decided to
When they
fucking
just
use-
figured it
Caught
out.
on. Yeah, he sees enough people doing it.
He
He's
couldn't
like,
flush
that's
though.
cool.
He couldn't flush.
Oh.
Ugh. See, Mike.
See, those two cats need to get
those,
together.
Those cats need
Teach
to
up.
like put their heads together. But I worry about that. I don't want cats to get too smart because then we might have a Planet of the Apes situation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would be fucked.
Like, we can't be far from that.
Once they start using the toilet, how far are we away from world domination?
Yeah, once they can like open their own food.
Oh God.
We're going to have to let
What
them
do-
vote
What do they
soon.
need? What do they need humans for?
So, like, supposedly what you do is you take a certain toilet that you're not going to, as a human, use all the time. And you put, like, saran wrap over it. Holler if you guys got another way. Then you put cat litter on the saran wrap. And then, so they get used to going where the toilet is, but with dirt. And then eventually you remove the dirt and they just go in a hole, but there's, like, dirt around the hole. And then you remove it all, and they just have to balance on the rim and do it where they got used to doing it.
I would think there'd be some anxiety there from the cat though. Once you remove it all, it's like, all right, game day.
You're supposed to cut the hole slowly bigger and bigger. Like you make the hole, and then you flush a lot of cat litter and call the septic guy a lot. There's
That sounds
definitely
way more involved,
Yeah, that
That
sounds
is
like
worth
a,
it.
it sounds like a messy process.
right?
Jeez, Erica's mom toilet trained a blind cat. I don't even know how to like do anything with
Yeah.
a blind cat.
That's very impressive.
Whiskers though, okay. I guess you just follow the walls.
Yeah.
How many of you all had pets that talked? Because I have had a couple cats that learned a word or two.
I've seen that, and it scares the crap out of me.
You never had a cat learn like a word?
No, I was up one night watching America's Funniest Home Videos, and there was a cat that said Shel Silverstein. I got up, I turned the TV off, and left. I left the house. I went for about an hour walk. It was the most terrifying thing.
Shel Silverstein.
No.
Oh, man. So get this. I had a cat named Mimic, and it was younger, and I had this older calico. It's like, of course, it's a smart breed that learned how to say mimic, and there was a whole process. She would start out with like just meh, and then she learned how to do that like chatter thing they do in the window for like birds.
For birds,
Oh,
Yeah, and then it turned into mimic.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy.
That is so scary.
And it was only to tell us to let the other cat in.
Like that. I just don't like talking animals. I think that might be one of my fears now thinking about it. Like I can't do birds, especially birds that talk. It's a very disturbing concept to me. I don't know why.
Okay, so apparently you start, man. Erica, Buck, I couldn't do this episode without you. Holla. You start with the box on top of the seat, then put one under the seat that doesn't move. Then get a box that floats. Then remove it.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, I guess Tupperware makes boxes that float.
Yeah.
We have this Tupperware of cat shit when your friends come to visit, just floating in the toilet.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about
Why
that.
is there a cat turd in its own little boat floating in your toilet? Like, what kind of role playing are you doing?
the ship boat.
I'm doing an experiment.
Hey, listen, don't worry about the ship boat, all right?
You need to buy your kids some toys.
You'll use the ship boat and you'll like it.
Oh no! Hey, yeah, I think it's H. John Benjamin time.
Is it?
I dare
Bilbo.
say. Want to give him Lily. I think it's time that they catch up with Lily.
What the hell are you talking about?
Tax Lily, Lily's tax, little
Gotcha.
Lily and her tax lilies.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they were able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less.
800-918-7169. 800-918-7169.
My doctor prescribed me Viagra. It wasn't covered by my insurance, so it was costing me like $65 a pill. That's expensive.
Over 20 million guys like us use Viagra. Over a certain age, we just need it. I found a way to pay less than $3 a pill and get virtually the same effect of the $65 pill. I heard an ad just like this on the radio, called, and for $99, I got 40 generic versions of the $65 pill. Save yourself money and call right now and get over 40 pills for $99. There's no embarrassment here to use Viagra. If we're over 50, we need it, but not at high prices. Call now with your credit card and get the 40 pill special for just $99.
800-626-6538. 800-626-6538. That's 800-626-6538.
Be sure to get your mix of music. Listen to us with the RadioVegas.rocks app available at the App Store. And check out our VIP card, interact with us in our chat room, and scheduling of our RadioVegas.rocks shows, plus podcasts. It's all available on RadioVegas.rocks app.
I have to talk about this. You're listening to Greasy Conversation. GreasyConversation.com, spelled the way you expect, is where you get the replay. You can see our news notes and actually see the links to the sources that we might cite. Not that we've hit the most news yet. It's mostly just talking about man bags. But we're talking about doors and how like something goes awry with a door in your home and it won't close or it squeaks or you have to lift it a certain way, or it's just like, it seems like every enigma with three-dimensional space takes place when a door is in your home. It's like the rocket science of the home is getting doors just to close happy. We got carpet in here, and now that door is too high for the carpet. We need to find someone to shave it down. We might get Holla. He's going to get a free plug even if he doesn't, as something comes up. But Drew from not Recycled Propaganda, Reclaimed Secrets. If you guys want stuff made out of wood that was like in a sunken pirate ship or like from like that's been out in the bay getting all green and this cool reclaimed wood from old docks or old ships, reclaimed what did I say?
Secrets.
Reclaimed secrets.
I said
Sorry,
reclaimed
Drew.
wood.
Yeah, that's like he's leaning on that. So he gets this reclaimed wood. He gets it in bulk, and he makes this gorgeous furniture. Some of the furniture has like Bluetooth speakers in it too, desks,
Oh, that's dope.
Integrated cooler. So we have this nice wooden thing in your yard, but part of it is like igloo time with a drain and everything.
Yeah.
So he's gonna pop by and take a look at some of our wood stuff. But if you also do carpentry, we need some like a little bit of door adjustment time here at the studio because it's brand new and it like settled. So inside baseball, I know, but here's some dank news coming.
Mike. As a response to the doors, Michael said, unless it's door mint. The pun game strong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Drop them puns all day.
You drop all the puns as long as you keep hooking it up like this gorgeous. See this mic stand that I'm caressing. For you audio listeners, I'm totally just one direction. You don't want to go both. This is vulgar. Yeah. This is okay. So I'm caressing downward on the mic stand. That's not vulgar.
I mean, that's a technique, dog.
All right.
That's a technique. You know what I'm saying?
It's a fine line between vulgar and okay.
Who goes in and not out is what I'm saying. You got to go. Anyway, so this mic stand, shout out to powerful Mad Mike from Two Clueless Dudes. You got to tune in Fridays at 5. I mean, it's just so fun to say. Fridays at 5, RadioVegas.rocks. Two Clueless Dudes is another show that I produce with a similar format, but they've got this great slant on pop culture, specifically movies and TV, and just all of the cool things from like cars, a little bit of sports, everything from like the Marvel and DC universe, video game culture, everything that touches movies and television and pop culture and Weird Florida Man, music history, just such a slant, extra pop culture, feel goody, like kind of, man, it makes fun to be in the West and cartoons and all the fun stuff we grew up with. That's the stuff they'll dance around in and joke around about, and you won't miss what's popping up on Netflix and what you should avoid on Hulu and vice versa, and making fun of Disney's new platform, and some fun inside entertainment stuff too. These are people that have worked in Las Vegas with actual celebrities. So when it comes to celeb gossip and dirt and fun stories, they've got that tip too. Two Clueless Dudes, Fridays at 5, twocluelessdudes.com for replays. And that Michael here, he also is why I have this mic stand right here to do this with. If you can go to Greasy Conversation to see what I'm doing to the mic stand, and also our notes. And this is a good arm workout. It's like a shake weight.
All right. Let's go. Neil Peart voted the greatest prog musician of all time according to Prog Magazine.
Prog Magazine. Who talks about prog as much as they should?
Yeah, there's a whole magazine.
Hell yeah, prog right here. But we're not talking about Yes or Jethro Tull. We're talking about Rush.
So who do you think, before you think like who you guys think should be the greatest prog musician, who do you think were the other four of the top 5?
I really want to say Squire from Yes, something Squire.
Billy Squire?
Not Billy Squire. There's a different Squire. Chris Squire is a bassist from Yes that kind of founded the band in a time when like it wasn't hip to have like complicated music and pop, but his goal with Yes was to like have more musicianship and more like classical shredding and stuff that still could be like poppy and jingly enough to be likable. When you have songs like Roundabout, they're just like all epic, but have these sing-songy choruses too.
I think who's the lead singer of King Crimson? I think they need to be up there as well.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that Robert Fripp?
Yes, Robert Fripp.
He's one.
Major.
Squire is not.
What about Roger Waters?
Nope.
Interesting. I don't think people consider Pink Floyd as proggy as they should consider them, because those guys were way ahead of the game.
100% agree. 100% agree. I feel like Pink Floyd's more prog than Jethro Tull.
Yes.
It's just like, just because there's like villages and minstrels and trees and stuff doesn't make it prog.
Right.
And also, too, if you listen to like things like the early stuff, like Piper at the Gates of Dawn and like...
oh, yeah, with Syd Barrett?
Yeah.
The Syd Barrett stuff?
That was at... and then when they started moving towards more of the experimental, like Careful with That Axe, Eugene, that kind of stuff with Pink Floyd, they went very far, like into the prog genre.
Dude, some of that shit is dope, though.
Yeah.
Adam Hart Mother.
Did you ever hear that one track where it's just Roger Waters' dog? They just held a mic up to Roger Waters' dog, and like David Gilmour's just playing blues guitar behind Roger Waters' dog singing.
Oh, okay.
It's so good. It's in the the documentary Live at Pompeii.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. If you haven't seen Live at Pompeii, highly recommend.
Yeah, pomp it up. Don't neglect the pomp.
So the other ones on the top 5, David Gilmour.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
okay, so Pink Floyd's involved.
Yeah. Geddy Lee and Rick Wakeman. Because, of course, fucking Rick Wakeman.
Okay, so I get partial credit because Rick Wakeman, if you don't all know, is not only in Yes, but when Yes was most prog through the 70s, Rick Wakeman's keyboard practically stole the show. And then Rick Wakeman left. And that's when Yes became more poppy in the 80s and didn't sound prog anymore. So Rick Wakeman was really more the prog of Yes than that's the Squire I was talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
So glad Yes is getting some recognition.
So weird question. Would you guys consider the Doors prog, considering everything that Ray Manzarek was doing?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Too early.
I mean, some of the stuff would be like...
some of the stuff, it gets pretty close with between the changes and the switches, and then, they were experimenting with like different time signatures and stuff like that, but... I get that it might be a little bit too early, but I don't know. I think they should be in the conversation. Mad
Mike's examples of prog in the chat are so great. Iggy Pop, Sting almost counts. Tiffany though, Tiffany does not count.
I don't think Sting counts as much as the Police. The Police would count more than Sting, like as a band.
I want to agree with you, but like Dream of the Blue Turtles. Kind of spaced out, like songs like Russians. I feel like that's pretty proggy. That album is pretty diverse. It's pretty like, I'm doing what I want to do. I'm Sting. This is my dream of my Blue Turtles.
And last one, Flock of Seagulls.
Flock of Seagulls.
Yo, man.
How prog are Flock of Seagulls?
Dude. The proggest, man.
Hair prog.
On the shows like what happened to it, like on those VH1 shows and shit. Anytime it was like the Flock of Seagulls, dude, because they still do shows, and like he fucking hates that song, dude, like with a passion, and he like doesn't hesitate to talk about how much he hates the fucking song, and he's like, I still play it for the fans though. But I hate this fucking song.
I do it for my fans.
Yeah.
I find it odd that David Gilmour is on the list, but Roger Waters isn't, considering he wrote all the stuff.
The most proggy was. Yeah. He just didn't play guitar proggy enough. Can we talk about Emerson, Lake and Palmer too?
Oh,
by the way?
Absolutely.
I'm disappointed. Like,
well, I think they kind of get lost in the shuffle. Because now, if you hear Emerson, Lake and Palmer, you're like, yes. But after, like, they're one of those bands that kind of float under.
Yeah.
You wouldn't consider them like the top.
I thought someone in Emerson, Lake and Palmer was in King Crimson. I'm missing up because I thought Fripp was the guitarist in King Crimson and the singer was the same as Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Keep talking. I'm gonna double check.
True. Yeah, I don't remember all this.
A lot of people went through King Crimson. Like the bass player of King Crimson went on to be in like what was it, Bad Company, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It was Gonzo, I think was his name.
Greg Lake. Take that. Greg Lake. Greg Lake from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Pretty sure he was also the King Crimson frontman because it's the same vocals So yeah. I remember this right. Thanks for your patience, everybody. Greg Lake was the King Crimson singer that also sang Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Like Emerson, Lake and Palmer, I think
Fripp did some really cool stuff after that, though.
He really
yeah.
did.
King Crimson's got great
the
tracks.
King Crimson record Red is really good. I was just listening to it the other day.
Sick.
It's that one in the Hall of the Crimson King.
Powerful.
I think like ELP, their problem is like they have some really weird shit that's
Yeah.
like not remotely accessible.
No.
Or like not even, you know, like they just get.
That's a perfect way of putting it.
They
yeah.
go so out. Like their good songs are fucking great. Like on like Carnival.
Yeah,
The whole
Carnival
thing,
9,
but like there's some weird fucking tracks on that album.
Like,
Jerusalem.
I
Yeah.
love those bands where after a while they just start like goofing off. It's like end the song.
So I'll take that instead of like some pop tracks that have like 4 too many choruses.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, oh, your whole second chorus and verse is just copy pasted from the first half of the song. Let it go. I can press repeat myself. Hoobastank.
Oh,
Still bitter.
you gotta put Hoobastank
Damn, dude.
in that.
Yeah, they were the most copy paste songs I've
Put
ever
'em on
heard.
blast, damn.
Tell me what I found.
So also I threw on here if anyone wants to check it out, check it out. But in the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie, Neil Peart actually plays a part.
Yes,
And it's
Neil
actually
Peart.
Neil Peart
Yes.
doing the drum solos in that.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force actually has a lot of roots in Prague. Remember that one episode where they had Geddy Lee?
Yes.
When Master Shake, he flies in on like Geddy Lee's plane, and it's just a giant precision bass.
Yeah.
It's so good.
No, my favorite is the Foreigner belt
Yeah,
that
dude.
gives you the superpowers of the music
Yes.
of Foreigner. So I'll make you cold as ice.
You're just another jukebox hero.
You're about to get hot-blooded.
You've got double vision.
Oh, such
so
a good
good.
episode.
Very nice, man. Hell yeah.
Do you remember when this was like 10 years or so in Chicago? They were doing an Aqua Teen Hunger Force promotion, and they had the Moonanites up. They had these little Moonanites things up,
These
and
little
they,
LED
and they,
panels.
And they thought that
Yeah.
it was a bomb, and
Yeah.
it was a huge bomb threat. And
Yeah, 'cause they're like little
had
box things, like hidden all over the city. There
It
were a
was
bunch of them.
just a circuit board with
Oh, was
no
it?
parts on it except for batteries and lights and the resistors for the lights. That was it.
Oh, okay.
Nothing. It was thin too. You can't just make a circuit board blow up, you guys. We need other stuff. I don't know who's teaching these schools.
it's the movies.
This is what kind of STEM is going on that people think.
Yeah,
like,
I think like these kind of jobs, like you got to read like a certain number of books or something a year. Some shit,
Right.
man. Because people just think like crazy shit happens for no, and like shit doesn't even work like that, man. Like
Yeah.
that's not even possible. What are you talking about?
It's just a board with like, lights on it.
Yeah, I remember,
Lights.
they were like, but they had a bunch of them, so they shut down like tons of parts of the city for a while.
It was a huge thing.
Yeah.
No one can do a Google reverse image search on what that Moonanite's shaped like. No one can do that
Oh, the circuit
journalism.
bomb.
It's just immediately a bomb. Every piece of marketing that's guerrilla marketing is a bomb.
Yeah.
That Shepherd Ferry mural on the plaza, it's a bomb.
And I love that like this, this was like still like the age of Google. Like you could take a picture and be like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
like
We
that-
reported on this. This was like 2 years ago. It's so stupid.
No, this was like
No, it's probably closer to 3. And we
No,
did
it
talk
was-
about it on the show though. It was like
it had to
season
be
1.
longer than that because that was like before the movie came out, which was a long ass time ago.
Yeah.
No,
it
this
was a
was
while.
no. That promo was after the movie.
Was
it was
it?
way
Okay.
after the movie. Yeah, it was for a different Aqua Teen thing coming
Aqua
out.
Force Squad or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
when they like rebooted it.
Yeah.
It was from that.
Well, they didn't actually. They just like changed the name
They,
of
they
the.
kept they changed
They changed it like 2 or 3 times.
The
Yeah.
reason why they did that is because they kept getting canceled, and so they would just pitch another show, and it kept getting approved. So so they would run one season as like these different names until finally Adult Swim was like, all right, dude,
You're doing
and they
the same
they renewed the show, and then it got officially canceled.
So that's why it had a different name for a
Yeah.
while. Man, that's
yeah,
a weird.
They had like 3 or 4
game.
different names. Yeah, I was like, I didn't know that.
I just hated that Frylock had braces in the intro and never had braces every other time.
He would have braces at certain parts, like whenever he would like smile,
Yeah.
he would have his braces.
Oh, that's
and-
right.
and
You
then
just
he
didn't
would-
see his teeth much.
Yeah. My problem was his little power crystal on his back. In some shots he'd have it, and in other shots he wouldn't.
Oh,
it
I was
bugs me.
literally about to bring that up. That drives me nuts too. Hell yeah! I just got news. Doors getting worked on. People are helping us with our wood. You guys, it takes a community. It's really hard to do a radio station. I have to really thank everybody that's come together to put this together, from Kicker to the Rockin' Comedy Show, the flagship podcast of the station that was doing it before the station. If it weren't for Jay and the Rockin' Comedy Show extending this into a whole station, it wouldn't have gotten to this point. So definitely check out radiovegas.rocks/schedule or just rockincomedyshow.com and pull some episodes of that. There's been epic interviews with magicians in town. I'm talking Billboard celebrities from Anthony Cools to why am I wanting to call him Murray, thank you. Yes.
Marty McFly.
Powerful
Magician.
Murray. The fella from the Australian Bee Gees. Just really cool people chatting in or popping in or helping host even in the Rockin' Comedy Show and talking about what's going on in this town with live entertainment and the hypocrisy going on as far as what live entertainers are allowed to go back to work or not, and their crews that are starving for work. When we think, we can just like let these celebrities not work, but there's this whole cruise of these people that like that's their life skill is making these events happen, and they're starving and getting some of the slowest PUA to arrive of any state in this nation when the federal money's there. There's like just stuff going on in there, but also music and laughs. We also play Craigslist Price is Right, or is the price right for licensing reasons. It's just Craigslist, is that price right? You get what we're talking about playing.
Is that price correct?
Yeah. It is so fun. So it's a really fun show. I got to give them extra hollers. And I'm going to see how many shows I can plug on the station this episode. Because right after us is Grungy Fawcett with Kevin Fawcett, where you get those grunge album tracks that you might have loved in the 90s only if you had the albums and weren't just listening to the radio. So holla.
So he explores like the deeper grunge cuts.
That's right.
That's
like
awesome.
Chevelle's first album before they did the major release, Point Number One. Plays a lot of great stuff from that album. That whole album is amazing. Silverchair, STP, Soundgarden, any of that.
All the good stuff. Dope. Hella dope.
Num num num. Grungy Fawcett, 6 p.m. Stay tuned. RadioVegas.rocks. Anyway, bonus plugs. What's the next news thing you've got?
All right, I got this. So
wait. Can you talk about it over this?
Hell yeah, I can. All right, so we got. I'm waiting for it. So yeah, someone posted this page, or they tweeted this page from a medical textbook published in 2017, and the shit is just ridiculous. But the page lists cultural differences in response to pain. So I'm gonna read a few of these because they're just nutty. So for Arabs and Muslims, it says, may not request pain medicine, but instead thank Allah for pain if it is the result of the healing medical process. Or pain is considered a test of faith. Muslim clients must endure pain as a sign of faith in return for forgiveness and mercy. This is a medical textbook, yes. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, wait, no. This one.
Can I read the one about the blacks?
Yeah, go for it, Doc.
By all means.
Blacks often report... Oh, wait, where is it? Let me see.
What is going on?
Blacks often report...
Get on that mic.
Oh, wait, here we go. Blacks often report higher pain intensity than other cultures. They believe suffering and pain are inevitable.
Did you know that there used to be doctors had this myth that was perpetuated among doctors that black people had a higher pain tolerance and you could just let them hurt more.
Yeah,
it's so gross. It's freaky.
It's definitely a stigma.
It's not true at all.
Yeah.
Did you feel like people can smack you around more and they don't take you seriously?
We have a couple extra hit points.
Damn.
I mean, I know some people that are more durable, but doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It's just because you're tough doesn't mean you don't hurt, baby.
All right. Jews may be. Well, just list them as
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Just being the Jews. Jews may be vocal and demand assistance. That's what it says in regards to pain.
Oh my gosh.
In a medical textbook, yo. They believe pain must be shared and validated by others. Like, what fucking planet are these people on, man? Like, who writes this shit?
Can you confirm my pain for me?
Okay.
Right?
Well, that doesn't sound like, because I kind of have a family like that too. Where like we like to complain together.
Yeah,
So if
but
I could like
that could-
relate,
Fuck, that could be anyone,
that
though.
really could be like any
pain,
family.
pain
yeah.
sucks for everyone.
For
Like, what
sure.
the fuck?
I do want the people around me to share it with me for sure. Take some of this load off by like pretending like you're in pain too around me.
So,
Please.
like, yo, this one is just like nuts. Hispanics may believe that pain is a form of punishment and that suffering must be endured if they are to enter heaven.
God.
For like,
That just sounds like they copy and pasted the Arab one. They're
right?
just getting lazy at this point.
Yeah, which like that would be more of a religious thing than like someone's.
Yeah. Speaking as a
culture or
Hispanic, it's
nationality,
never
but-
been a religion for me. I
Like
just like
this-
I like this is just because I got it's a food. Since when is like rice and beans a religion?
I need a shirt that says that rice and beans is my religion.
I mean, I'll join, but I mean, I'm there.
Every Tuesday we get together.
No, real talk though, the Puerto Rican red rice. That's my red rice. Very proud of it. It doesn't affect my pain tolerance though.
Believe that pain must be treated with red rice. All right, yeah. So, just man, it just trips me out that like shit like that exists, and like I'm sure that's not the only textbook where shit like that's going down. But you know,
Yeah, how recent was that baloney?
2017.
That's amazing.
You know,
And how is that like not public? Like, there's all this about the Hippocratic that Hippocratic oak, and like what is the I want to say OSHA, but I'm talking about the thing where the medical records privacy HIPAA. So we got this hippopotamus and the oak and the Hippocratic oak, and yet like there can be these like secret sweeping generalities like in stuff that's supposed to be educational. It's freaking
Yeah.
gross.
just weird. Yeah, weird things to.
It's just odd. Like I've never like once gone to the hospital and they're just like they look at me and you'll be fine. Rub some dirt. Rub some dirt on. You can take a couple extra more lumps.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So, yeah,
gnarly.
we'll get to you in a bit. All right, we know you're not hurting.
You're not hurt that bad.
Yeah.
I'm like bleeding out.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I know
when
you
they
got,
see
like,
me,
I know,
like,
you know you got like a metal plank in your fucking skull, but you know,
they're just like that guy.
walk it off.
He's gonna just die. He's falling apart already. We need when they see me, they're like, we gotta scoop this fella up. He doesn't look like he can handle anything.
We need to validate. We need to validate that pain.
That dude doesn't look like he can even handle sunshine, let alone an injury. Yeah, my skin looks like tissue paper. I'm just like a garbage bag full of blood, waiting to snag on anything as I walk by.
Damn.
That's a Whitney Cummings quote that she like just threw away on Rogan once.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to turn into a plug for the Rock and Comedy Show. You can skip ahead. So, like, Jay was interviewing comedian Whitney Cummings, and like, he, as my favoriteest pal, tossed her a couple questions that I had for her because I'm a huge Whitney Cummings fan, and like, I can't believe he got to this, but he brought up when she said that on Rogan, and she like didn't even remember. Like, can you imagine being like that funny that like? So you could just throw that stuff away on podcasts and like not even remember it. Like, it's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Powerful Whitney Cummings, by the way. That's my point.
Chappelle does that stuff too. Like he
Yeah,
just
just throws it
everything he
out there,
says
yeah.
is just gold. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's always trippy. Like, and someone like that probably doesn't like half of their shit is just like throwaway. They're like, it's got so much material, it doesn't even matter.
Totally.
I could never be a comedian. That is I know like from a musician saying that it just seems like such an intense job. I have so much respect for comedians because it's like
Yeah.
you're always on the spot, and then like I can't imagine like someone like you just sit next to someone and then they just get this goofy grin on their face. It's like, well, say something funny. Like God, that's gotta have that would give me so much anxiety.
Oh yeah, dude.
I used to feel like this weird, awkward pressure to become one just because I'm a fan of so many.
Yeah.
I just, like, there's so many other things that I really liked that I, like, learned how to do. And then I realized that what I enjoy the most out of stand-up comedians is their podcasts. So it's like, oh, I know, I just like good podcasters, and like stand-up comedians make good podcasters. It's like just an overlapping skill set, but it doesn't mean that I have to go through that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So wait, I do believe we've got a quick H John.
Slam them H. Johns.
Yeah.
Been trying to get rid of your stubborn belly fat, but it doesn't want to leave you? Or maybe you want to get that extra ripped look. Now you can reach your goals the keto way. Ketosis is the metabolic state where your body burns fat for energy. And the best way to turn your body into a fat-burning, weight-losing machine is with Advanced Keto Plus. And right now, for our radio listeners only, you can get 2 bottles free when you order 2 bottles. You get to try out keto at our best discount ever. Plus, call now and we will also send you a free 28-day meal plan keto ebook with your first order. Burn your stubborn belly fat and get ripped today the keto way. Call right now to order. Buy 2 bottles for only $49.99 each and get 2 bottles free.
800-417-2119. 800-417-2119.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer, and we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case, and they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-507-3114. 800-507-3114. 800-507-3114. That's 800-507-3114.
Your new favorite internet radio station, RadioVegas.rocks.
And we're back listening to Greasy Conversation on Radio Vegas. .rocks.
Yeah, Greg's giggling because he played the thing right before we go on. As soon as I got up.
Well, I was like in motion, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize like what was going on.
Sure you were.
Maybe not. You never know. Taking it to the fucking grave,
It
dog.
was malicious.
Very true.
So, what do we have in the old submarine of noodles?
So this is a good one. An Australian student developed a mathematical model detailing how it would be possible to travel back in time without causing time travel paradoxes and without changing the present.
Oh, mathematically we can do it.
Yeah.
So does that mean we can only send math back in time? Like we have to become algorithms?
That's what I gotta check out and see like how it works. But basically, what he's saying is that like with this, whatever this like model says is that if like say someone was the example they use is like coronavirus. Say someone went back in time, quarantined patient 0, that we know was patient 0, right? Say we know who that was. They quarantined that person, right? And then it seems that like the president, it would just like patient 0 would just be someone else instead. It's basically what it boils down to.
So the formula basically says that there's certain inevitabilities that like if it's not this one person, it's going to be too many other things.
Like too many, like certain events, like things would culminate.
It's kind of like Final Destination. So if you save someone, everything needs to happen in time. Because if you save someone from the death one way, they're just gonna die another way.
Like you could say that a certain like situation created Hitler, and that same boiling pot would have gestated another Hitler.
Yeah, it would have been someone else.
He'd like whatever caused like him to become Hitler. Like he'll draw like a picture. He's like, "What do you think of this? I hate it." Oh, okay. All right, cool.
It seems like only these big nose people hate my pictures.
Jeez, dude.
I can say that I have a big Jewish nose too. So I'm like the most Latin Jew that ever done was. Embrace it.
Which I really want time travel paradoxes, man.
Yeah, I
know they're delicious.
I honestly don't see how that would be possible, like traveling back in time without without changing something or creating a splitting effect. I can see you going back in time and then coming back and everything being normal, but I would also see, like, wouldn't there be other ripples in time, right? Everything would have to split.
Supposedly
clue.
it's splitting every time we make like a micro decision.
Yeah.
Every time we're like, I'm going to pick my left nostril, then my right. Then there's a whole nother you that gets become president that just picked the other nostril first.
I like the idea of like, there's been a few shows that do this, but you send like someone's consciousness back in time and it just finds their old body.
This seems
somehow.
more plausible. Like when we can do autonomous things as information, because if you think about it, the amount of you that is physical matter and the amount of you that is just data, just personality data, historical data on what your actions have been, like that really starts to make up more of your identity than any pile of gunk. And that's why your body can die and you can still be this entity that still like does things in the media based on people's perception of like what you might have done or what some cartoon version of you might do in someone's imagination and something in the future like that. How at some point how different is that, at least to what everyone else sees? The only thing that's gone away is this one individual's personal experience that no one else is going to share. The whole rest of what you are still existed and keeps existing. So if you can take that and like send it somewhere to go do research, you might have like a way better robot exploring the distant universe with some human souls inside of it.
Oh yeah.
I hope when I die I get a sweet ass robot body.
I'm all about like that idea of consciousness transfer and shit.
I say like forget the robot body, it takes up too much space. I'd rather be on this virtual island and then pretty ladies wear a necklace around their neck with a supercomputer in it, and on that supercomputer is my consciousness chilling on the beach.
Ooh.
And sometimes they can peek in, I get to see this pretty lady eye looking down at me and wave. And I'm like, don't forget to recharge me tonight.
You're just an iHome.
Yeah. Don't forget to put my consciousness on the charger.
Right. Oh damn.
It's wireless. You just set it on the pad.
So if you're not charged, would you die then?
I'd definitely die.
Oh.
But it also brings like, say there was a save state.
Yeah,
right?
no, for
and
sure.
it just like starts up, right? Yeah.
I'll just restart. I'm just like, I haven't eaten in a month. Why didn't you charge me? I mean, we basically become Tamagotchis. Oh. That's what I'm trying to do with this internet.
Wouldn't that be trippy if that's all Tamagotchis really were?
It's primitive.
Oh, shit.
So get this, like, I'm way past the idea of like making my like self or my name famous or whatever, like whatever celebrity or fame like I might have wanted back in music days or anything. Now it would be more fun just to have so much recorded evidence of me reacting to stuff that later an AI can kind of form a consciousness of me that would like kind of wake up and live in a virtual fishbowl, and like maybe I can be like one of the early people to have practically uploaded my consciousness just by doing this like splatter paint early black and white photo of consciousness basically by these streams.
It's an interesting idea.
Yeah, that would be cool. I've kind of gone through a similar thing. Like lately, I'm like, I don't really care if I ever play a show ever again. I want to write. I want to write and record so much music that no one's ever gonna hear. Like, it's just been my goal to just write thousands and thousands of songs now.
How many have you gotten through?
I'm at least up to like 200. I've been recording.
Since when?
I've been recording for the past year in secret.
Wow.
And like
you
I've
should
just
start
been,
trickling them out.
I do. I sometimes I'll share it on my Instagram story. I'll share like little 30-second clips, but that's all anyone's ever gonna hear. And then I just throw it in the vault, put it on an external hard drive, and they're all under Death Tunes. So they're all called Death Tunes. So it'd be Death Tunes 22, Death Tunes 37, Death Tunes 175, Death Tunes, and I've just been writing, just pumping these songs.
You know, you
out.
can do Instagram TV, and they can be a little bit longer.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like I just like might just like just start trickling them out just like for a year straight, just release like another 30-second clip every day.
You want to get a DistroKid account, because for one price, just $20 a year, you can put as many albums under the same artist as you want. So you can just put like say 20 albums of 10 tracks each, or maybe 10 albums of 20 tracks, or it could be seriously all singles. And you dump them on all singles is hip right now, and put it on DistroKid. DistroKid isn't as much of a platform as they are a distributor. So they get you on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all of them. International ones, which is helpful when you have so many Bangladesh fans as we do, which I didn't explain to Brian at all. It's really weird to bring up that Greasy is like semi-known in Bangladesh and just like move on and not talk about it afterwards. But poor Brian is like still wondering about that. Shout out Brian Gibson and Tiffany Salerno, the Dirty Window podcast. I hope that you might have caught it before this. It's Sundays at 2, just before this show. Some of the show I produce. It's all got avant-garde and unique music, underground hip-hop and classic trip-hop. He even did a little Moby. But also this cool local band called B Master, which I felt kind of harkened to that sweet era of like Piebald and Saves the Day. That was like after Cursive but before Thursday.
Yeah, shout out to Brian Cantrell. That man is a genius.
Absolutely powerful. So that's what you get from Dirty Window. It's part of the Grode block on Sundays. Dirty Window, Greasy Conversation, and Grungy Faucet. Anyway, go on.
What about getting your consciousness transferred into Amazon's new Ring indoor security camera?
This is probably in our news twice because this is such a big deal.
If you did get your conscience transferred whenever anyone like walks up to your door, I would just start saying weird stuff.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Just like fuck with people. Yeah. Or that Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the door that like sighs when it opens.
Yeah. I think all self-satisfied smug door. That's how they described it too. The Marvin, the paranoid android, hated those smug doors.
Yeah.
So have you seen this Amazon flying rectangle of spying? On one hand, it's like, oh, you don't have to put as many security cameras around. This drone just patrols. On the other hand, you could just tennis racket this thing.
That's what I'm saying. If you really want to get in that house bad enough, just swat that bad boy down.
Tennis racket, go to whatever room you want.
Yeah. Or throw like a little sheet over it.
Real talk though, regular security cameras you can hit with the tennis racket too, and it still doesn't. You still got seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love. Did you ever see that one security camera guy where he's on like the camera door, the peephole, and he just starts licking the doorbell, and he licks the doorbell for about 3 hours. He sits in, he's all on camera. He's just licking this doorbell.
3 hours of footage of
just
one person
him just licking the doorbell. It's the most bizarre thing ever.
I'm taken aback partly with jealousy because like I would love to have been like the first person known to like be on a Ring doorbell just licking away and like basically it looked like you're licking someone's licking your eye.
Yeah.
To have your eyeball licked is already like spectacular and not safe. Like you can totally like especially if you've licked like a butt and then an eye, then it's like pink eye time.
Definitely pink eye time.
Yeah.
But to have done it for 3 hours, it's like it's hopeless for me now.
Yeah, they're looking to arrest him, but I'm like, get that man a Guinness Book of World Records.
That's what I was just saying. Like, that's a new category, man.
I think they should just let him go because it's so funny.
There's no one that hasn't been so like on the spectrum intense about something that worthless that wasn't also really good at something else. Like this person, I bet they like make dope classical music or something like that, or like they're like a 4-star chef.
But gotta lick doorbells, man.
Gotta lick doorbells. That's how he gets that taste. That's how he resets.
I always wonder. I'm like, that must have it had to have been personal at that point. If you put that much commitment into it.
There's a message being sent by that. This is someone he was in love with or something. Someone he misses cunnilingus of.
I mean, what if he just really likes doorbells, man? Like,
that could be it too.
That was the doorbell design from his childhood home.
Maybe he just gets like super high and just like stalks around licking doorbells. Maybe that's his thing. You know, like when I partake, I like to eat pasta. That's just I call it my Rasta pasta. You know, so maybe his is licking doorbells. Who knows?
You said partake, and I was like, thinking it'd be something else.
Like, what else do you partake in? Come on, man.
I thought he means doing weed and eating pasta. I was like, oh.
Like, but it's like I eat a lot of pasta. Like, I'll make like a giant pot of it, and it's bad. It's really bad.
Damn.
Drunken pasta's all right too.
Ooh, yeah, drunken pasta's pretty good.
So
Well, does anyone like partake of anything else? I don't think I've ever
I think partaken got like taken over.
Yeah.
You used
I
to
think I've
partake
actually-
in like hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think I've partaken in anything other than weed my entire life.
Now it's tainted. It's been
Right.
perverted.
Yeah. Perverted partaking.
Oh man, what if this ring cam can get hacked though?
For sure.
Ooh, yeah, it can totally get hacked.
Watch, mark my words, it's
It will.
hacked by the end of this month.
Especially with Amazon, don't their stuff gets hacked all the time, right?
Not necessarily, not to my knowledge, because they've got that huge server network and S3 and stuff. So my favorite thing like this, getting hacked story though, has got to be that rosary, the Vatican's
yeah, dude.
brand electronic rosary. It was hacked within a excuse me, I had a burp. It was hacked within a day. Hackers were you'd get an alarm to like do your rosary or whatever, and then like lose your identity or something. I don't know. The hacks were weird.
So how did that work though?
What was E about it? What made it an E rosary?
That's what I'm wondering.
You know, I forgot. Let's revisit it.
Because I remember like talking about that a while back, but I can't remember like why. And it was like stupid expensive too.
Well,
wasn't
it would monitor your vital signs like a fitness bracelet.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, it was basically a Fitbit. What they sell.
It would remind you to pray.
Man, the church is breaking into all
Click
those markets.
to pray e-rosary. Click to pray, y'all. Pay to play. Click to pray. The stand is the best part. It's like a little bracelet smartwatch situation. It's very sleek. It's within reach of everyone with $200. Aimed at the peripheral frontiers of the digital world where young people dwell, which is also like reality.
Finally a rosary for me.
The Click to Pray family. Pay to pray, click to play.
I know what I'm getting my mom for Christmas.
Connects thousands of people around the world to pray every day. I really do think that like a bunch of people praying, meditating, concentrating on one thing can have like an impact still. But if it's just giving someone money for a thing that's gonna like get hacked and just tell the Russians your heartbeat or whatever.
I always like the idea of like, if you're into that, whatever. But prayer doesn't like outwardly affect anything, but it affects you. It changes you, and then you change what.
Which is major, because if you can program your subconscious, that's a you that's following you around like the Holy Ghost, making decisions, sending you feelings, sending you guidance that like you're not consciously always in tune with. In fact, usually not. So something like that, it's just as much as meditation or like other like community getting together, rituals, all these things can help you program your subconscious to like look for things that you need or that you want that you're praying for. You get your whole self up on these goals to help unify yourself internally too.
I just don't know why I have to click to pray though. Like,
because it's 2020.
If you don't click to do it, did you do it at all?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, does your prayer count if you didn't click it?
Hell no.
It's got to upload.
Send that prayer right up to Jesus.
You think God checks anything other than a smartphone anymore? Come on, man.
5G, that prayer is so faster.
5G.
You want the high bandwidth prayers. HD. HDP.
The big man gets your prayers 20% faster.
HDR, the color depth on this prayer is just... Oh my
10K
gosh.
prayer.
Yeah, 10K prayer. How long was I saying 10K meaning to say 4K? This is tragic. 10K prayers. Yeah, I stand by it. Like,
I like it.
Yeah, 4K is great if the TV is really big and you're far away from it. Or like far, decently, not far, close, weirdly close to a very big TV. That's my point.
Buck says, don't forget the power plant that they blew up via hacking in Iran.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
So there's
When was that? Is that...
this was a couple years ago. Because remember we covered this in the bedroom studio. It was these centrifuges that would mix up radioactive stuff, and they had software to manage like a pattern of like, okay, mix this speed for this amount of time, then this speed is a cooldown for this amount of time. There's ovens that are like that too, that we're going to look at later, actually. One of those ovens. When we talk about making semiconductors. Not semiconductors. That's like chips and stuff. Superconductors. Anyway, so these centrifuges got a virus. So when they got like a software update, this virus took over the motor and made them spin all crazy until they blew themselves up.
Damn.
Yeah.
Naughty.
That's like some Avengers stuff right there.
It's pretty gnarly.
Hackers in the butter zone.
Yeah. Oh man. So is this an okay time to start looking at making a semiconductor? Just take a peek into this.
Yeah, real quick, I want to just bring this to everyone's attention because this shit, I found this on Kickstarter. This dude made a Fractal first-person shooter.
Oh my gosh, this thing is crazy. This is great because we can watch it during the ads.
Yeah.
But could you describe it?
So basically, if anyone's not familiar about fractals, they're this kind of shape that's like good to think about it as like 2.5D. And you can like zoom in and it just becomes more complex the deeper you zoom, and self-iterative. So it's like the same pattern, but just more complex version of it.
Things repeat. So you could go through an archway in this video game and end up coming in the archway on the other side of the room.
Yeah, or you can head toward the center of the room, like it just takes you down another layer. There's no center you'll never reach the center.
This one, as you head down into the center, it just keeps
trying to go to the center,
you.
but there's just infinite layers.
Yeah, and how this works is there's another copy of you on all of the layers.
Yeah.
And it regenerates them as you get close. So you can shoot someone to your left, and another one of you down there will shoot another one of the enemy down.
Yeah, and like all layers are equal. So if you do something on one layer, like you can like lay blocks, right? So you can like make changes to the environment. So if you do it on one layer, like that same exact thing is going to be on all the other layers.
This is a crazy example here. You saw he was falling, and as he was falling, he was shooting the enemy. And the enemy kept appearing, flying past as he kept falling story after story. So you got to shoot him, keep falling, shoot him again, shoot him in each story as he fell until the enemy died.
Yeah, it's like a trippy concept.
Are you playing other people online?
Yeah, it is like a multiplayer first-person shooter game.
There's a Portal gun that's like a square version of Portal. There's a gun that shoots sofas. There's so many versions of this. There's so many cool things in this game.
Yeah, it's really dope. I've always like wanted a game like that, but never could figure out if anyone could do that shit. But yeah, it looks dope as fuck.
It's in fractal space. I never got the name of the game itself.
I can't remember what it was. I don't think it's on that video. I think the dude mentioned
Space Flux.
Flux. There we go.
Space Flux.
Yeah, but I think it's still on like Kickstarter, so I don't know if
you can actually play it yet.
Yeah,
but we're seeing footage of it here on the video stream at greasyconversation.com.
It's super nutty, man.
Yeah, that's super trippy.
But if you're like don't know anything about fractals, you can just YouTube like Mandelbrot set and go on a deep dive, man.
Fractal zooms.
Fractal zooms, yo.
Fractal zooms.
Yeah.
Oh man. So is this a good time to talk? Not to Lily this time, but you know those ones with the numbers at the end? If you call these phone numbers, you guys, it really helps keep the lights on, even if you don't need them right away or something, or if you can use any of this. Help us out in Bob Thornton Hour.
You're home. You're a diabetic. You need supplies, but you don't want to visit the pharmacy. What do? Call US Med for home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let US Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood sugar 4 more times a day and inject insulin 3 or more times a day, you may qualify to get a new continuous glucose monitor at little or no cost, which may eliminate the pain of pricking your fingers and helps you make smarter diabetes decisions. Plus, we'll send you a 90-day supply and bill your insurance company for you. Get some peace of mind. Call US Med today.
800-451-4785. 800-451-4785. That's 800-451-4785.
Be sure to get your mix of music. Listen to us with the RadioVegas.rocks app available at the App Store. And check out our VIP card, interact with us in our chat room, and scheduling of our RadioVegas.rocks shows, plus podcasts. It's all available on RadioVegas.rocks app.
Welcome. It's Greasy Conversation. you are listening to it. And also, we've got dank news. We're looking at Fractal time. Fractal. It's Fractal. So I've been dying to show you all this thing I bumped into where this kid called Nile Red on YouTube is always doing this super advanced science stuff. And it's crazy. Science YouTube is so fun and it's so accessible because you have people that like Peter Stripel, who makes model aircrafts and drones. Some of them he's ridden in, and you learn about aeronautics and stuff like that while casually watching these kids goof off and build stuff, and it's so cool. So this guy, he learned how to make a superconductor, and one of the coolest things you can do once you have a superconductor is this material. And watch this video as I'm talking of what this thing. No, ferrofluid gets involved. So watch this semiconductor material grow out of this goo real quick. Let me turn down the turn down this volume in the studio real quick. So okay. You know what? I think an ad took over just a moment. Like right as it was playing it. Look, this is a dramatic moment. Watch this horn of like foam kind of froth. It's like a metal froth like you'd have on the top of a frappuccino. Just grows like this angry wooden horn out of this blue goo with fire as it lifts out of this beaker. This reaction gives you this powder that you can then compress in a vise very tightly. He made this metal powder combining these materials. Once it was compressed in a vise and then put in an oven, he got these like bricks, these pucks of this metallic superconductor. Once this superconductor was frozen with liquid nitrogen, just set in a dish of liquid nitrogen, it had the magnetic properties of a superconductor, meaning that you can take a magnet and set the magnet above it, and it'll just pin there in the air and just float there. So let me skip ahead to that. And you can see the crazy formulas for what he made. Here is the oven I was telling you about, that you can set it to go up at a certain rate to a certain temperature, stay there for a certain amount of time, and then drop off when you want. And look at this weird oven. It takes a glass tube, and you put this like heat rock on either side, and there's the dust that he got all hot in there. Make some pucks. And now I'm going to skip ahead to where first try he got these magnets to levitate on this action. So look, that magnet just levitates there. So there's actually two things that are happening here. There's what's called the Mesner effect, if I'm pronouncing it right. He says it in the video too. We linked this at greasyconversation.com in our news notes. So the magnet is getting like a mirror of its magnetism. So the magnetism coming off the magnet comes off of the semiconductor exactly the opposite, all mirror-like, to make it hover. But the weird thing is why it just pins there. When you can move it into a position, it just stays there. That's this effect called flux pinning. With flux pinning, and I have this pulled up on another image here. I mean, I know I'm going to need to drag this over so you see the image. There's these little inconsistencies in the semiconductor that are like little tunnels that the magnetic flux will go through and make these tethers that kind of grab at the magnet and kind of loosely hold it in place while the magnet is also being repelled from the semiconductor. It gets crazier, if that's not crazy enough.
Would it be possible?
I was like, yeah, that shit's nutty.
Would it be possible for them to do it on like a giant scale? Like I was thinking like they put it on like the bottom of their shoes and then just like jump into like a giant one and start floating.
Similar has been done. So the Lexus hoverboard, which we reported on earlier. Remember when Lexus just did this teaser of like, we have a hoverboard now?
Yeah, like a real one.
Yes, and it was real, and this is exactly how it worked.
Oh,
it had superconductors like this in it and liquid nitrogen that they filled it up with. And it didn't need any electronics or anything. That's all that was in. And then they had a, if I remember right, it was a copper floor or magnetic, or there was magnets in it, and the copper, with magnets being cold, the copper did something with the magnetism. You know what? I also might be mixing it up with this other hoverboard that happened right after that in response to it, from this company that was making similar magnetic levitation things to move furniture and stuff. They also made a hoverboard. Theirs took magnets and spun them. Normally magnets don't stick to copper, but if you put some magnets on a wheel and spin the wheel very, very fast, then the magnetism that goes through the copper, normally not affecting the copper much, will similarly kind of bounce back like this and make levitation on the copper occur. Just from the spinning of the magnets. So with this guy, there's actually really cool video of people making a track out of magnets and then having the superconductor grab onto the and float over the magnetic track instead of having these magnets float on the superconductor. And this fella does a little bit of that here. Oh no, what did I click? I accidentally clicked something. Here we go. Okay. So next time I'm going to log in on my YouTube account because I got that YouTube Red with the no ads. Highly recommend.
YouTube has been kicking it into another dimension with those ads lately.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them because that YouTube subscription is great. So here's the track. So it's this. He just made a single track out of magnets, and you can see it just bounces back and forth on either side until it gets warm enough that it doesn't do the superconductor gig anymore. Look at that. That is
dope.
So someone made like a Mobius strip track where the superconductor follows it and then follows it upside down and then follows it right side up. And the friction is so low that they'll just go along the track, no problem. Now, I might not have like read to you exactly how to make a superconductor like I might have advertised, but you're not gonna make one. If you make a superconductor,
we ain't got time for that, y'all.
So, Greg, here's your ferrofluid. This is
floating on the superconductor.
Yeah, so the superconductor is actually below, and this is a magnet floating above it. But the magnet covered in the ferrofluid has got all the crazy liquid horns crawling over it as it
and they
hovers
just
over
like
there.
poured it.
You just poured it onto and it stuck
and
to
it
the
like
magnet.
made a shape.
Yep.
That's crazy.
It's just goo is on this cube
Holy
magnet,
shit, dude.
and there's like a bumpy, like a cat's tongue texture of
but
little evil pyramids, like the studded bracelet of a Hot Topic employee, all over this magnet in shiny goo, like it's one of those movies. And the cube is floating above the semiconductor. It's quite the trip.
When that dries, I wonder, would it be like a rubbery kind of consistency or like?
It's just goo. It's just very, very liquid. That kind of ferrofluid like he made there, because I've seen his old videos where he made it, is really watery. It just has enough iron filings in it that the iron filings do stuff in the liquid. I think it might actually be like vegetable oil or something.
Okay.
It might be. It's a coconut oil. It's grapeseed oil, which is great as a sexual lubricant.
Good to know.
Yeah. We're full of fun facts here. I don't know what oil his ferrofluid's made out of, but grapeseed oil, it's real. So, I got so excited about superconductor time, I lost track of anything else we were doing. So I'll have to hand it back to you, Greg.
All right.
Back to Greg in the studio. In the same studio I'm in.
Yeah, so this is just a cool story. A lot of kids are having to do school at home now, online. Pretty popular these days, obviously. But this one student got a bad grade on his test, and so his mom was a history teacher, happened to be a history test, and she looked at it and figured out that it was being graded by an AI. Because he gave like an acceptable answer, but it didn't have the certain keywords that the AI was looking for. So she came up with an idea to game the system, and she would just fill in like keywords. Like after he put in his answer, she would just put in keywords that were relevant to the question, just in order, not like, and then he would get 100%.
I always wonder, like,
nice.
with these kids like going to school from home, what I would do if I was like in high school is I would always have Google like in a separate window. And I love taking tests like from home and stuff. Just have Google in a separate window, click over, Google the answer, pop back into the test. I don't think it has to be all as serious as getting the AI. Just use a little Google time.
They make you do it on a tablet, and they can lock that down, but they don't stop you from having a laptop right next to that
or
tablet.
Your phone. Just pull out your phone.
Yeah.
Man, did you have a phone at that age, though?
When I was in high school, I did. But they were...
what was your high school phone like?
It
This is a
was
curious
it was
thing.
a brick. It was one of those like Nokia bricks. And then when
Nokias, yeah.
when I was a senior in high school, that's when phones just started getting
But it
smartphones.
was the baby bottle Nokia,
Yeah, yeah.
the 6000 series ones.
When I was a senior, that's when smartphones like just started coming out. So that's when like you started seeing people getting like what do they call it? Blackberries and stuff like that.
Yeah, for me there was when I was a senior, there was 2 kids that were like 2 of the first ones to have their own car. Also, especially with them like driving a bunch of their friends around and stuff, there were a couple that got cell phones first. And it was those Nokia baby bottle situations.
Yep.
And before that, when I was in early high school, the big kids had alphanumeric pagers.
Oh.
And they'd be, and some of them that was the things, like some of them had just a regular pager. So like your girlfriend would like send you like numbers, and there was all these code patterns of numbers that meant different saucy things.
When I was in 4th grade, my mom, a way to contact her, she got me a pager. So when I was in 4th grade, I looked like a drug dealer wearing like because we had to wear a uniform, so I'd be wearing like the khaki pants, and I had this bulky pager on my hip at all times. It was rough.
So I got one of those pagers like later in high school, just as a gag. I found out I could hold a certain button on it and it would beep like someone was paging me. So I would just make it do that in my pocket and pull it out and be like, this damn leash. And I call the office again and just turn it into this production. Throw it at the ground, and then it was crazy. Did I tell on this story? Speaking of throwing things on the ground in high school, my broadcast journalism show story. I think I told this on Two Clueless Dudes. Which Fridays at 5. The teacher let me write this script where I took an old VCR that I had at home, and in the like little show thing, little skit, I guess, I was supposed to take the VCR from one teacher and bring it to the broadcast journalism teacher. And along the way, I kept dropping it and kicking it. And at one point, it falls over a 2nd-story balcony and like gets all blown up, and it gets caught in the door as I'm like walking through the door. And then the teacher has a heart attack at the end. And I can't believe he like went with it and went with the script. We like RIP'd him at the end and everything with no disclaimer.
That is so
he
dark.
was so cool. Powerful. Mr. Richards.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Shout out to Mr. Richards.
Yeah, I can't believe he rolled with that. So yeah, that was our AV club, was broadcast journalism, and that was in high school.
so-
This was graduated in 2001.
Did anybody like go with the gag that he was actually dead? Because I'd imagine if the wrong person saw that, they'd be like,
It was like humorously risky looking back. And it was like, the morning announcements, so there'd sometimes be video.
yeah.
It was like brand new high school. So it was like, we had these giant CRT TVs that came out of this cabinet.
Oh, damn.
So crazy. No, the TVs were not flat. Like you wouldn't, a school wouldn't have a flat TV in 2001.
Yeah.
No way. It was just
No.
this, it was like a 40-inch.
Yeah, I remember
CRT.
That, and they used to set them on when I was in school. We had those like old giant TVs, and they'd set them on those like kind of like cabinets that would roll.
Yeah.
And they'd just roll them through
rolling
like
shelves,
class
yeah.
to class.
This was like a brand new high-tech California high school. So this giant CRT was in a cabinet. You open the cabinet and it would like slide forward like a Murphy bed or something.
Damn.
I miss
Fancy.
those overhead projectors. Those are sweet.
Yeah, I have a couple for nostalgia. Yeah, powerful. Ange Kerfoot would do a lot of like oil and water.
Yes, I
Pink
remember
Floyd stuff
that.
on that back. This was like 2012.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, during the Lucky Cuss days when you guys would play, and she'd be like doing the oils.
We made a cool music video of it. It's called Courtship and Carbon Dating. That song with the music video, you can find a link to it. Actually, if you go to greasyconversation.com and just go to the next page, just go back a page, there's an Ange Kerfoot like music thing that we did during the Pandy. We did some throwbacks, like music episodes. You go to Ange Kerfoot's, it's linked in there, Courtship and Carbon Dating, because it's a little bit hard to find. It was a Lucky Cuss track, but really cool. Holy crap! This episode is like at the end already.
Yeah, it's almost over. I got this.
Yeah, give me that
I got
last
the
taste.
biggest hell no story
Hell no.
of the week, at least. Real quick, Jordan says, of course, we're the same age, 2001.
That's right.
Yeah, 2001 hype.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Powerful
All right.
Jordan.
So, police in Vietnam have confiscated an estimated 345,000 used condoms, which had been cleaned and resold as new. Yo,
Two clueless dudes scooped this one. I have to give it
Did
to
they?
Matt.
Oh,
Like,
man.
yeah.
My biggest
Holy
question with
crap.
that is why?
What the fuck, dude?
Condoms are not that expensive.
They're too expensive,
Where you
man.
have to clean them.
When
and
you go
reuse
through
them.
like 10 a day, it's too expensive.
Yo, but so the woman who was like repackaging these, she boiled them and then reshaped them using like a wooden
Boiled?
phallus, yeah, wooden phallus like device.
Reshaped.
She got paid 17 cents for every kilogram of recycled condoms she produced.
She did this.
That's not like how many?
all day.
Yeah.
Can you hear this on the audio? Let me know, you guys, if you can hear what I'm doing to the mic stand. You can guess.
The biggest thing for that, I think she should be prosecuted and also commended because, A, that's very impressive. But if you can do all that, why aren't you reusing that rubber for something else? I'm sure she can do
Tires.
better things with that, like with that talent, and get paid more. And also, where is she getting these condoms? Who's supplying these used condoms to her?
There's like
Yeah.
a bucket at the street corner that's like, recycle.
Yeah, she just goes like around
Someone's
like
going,
the
door to
village.
door. Hey, y'all got any condoms?
Rinse it out
Use
first.
condoms. Use condoms.
Condoms, use condoms.
Crazy.
She's got to offer money for him. She's got to give him like 10 cents.
And also too, so she was
Recovery
wrapping
fee.
these too, right?
Yeah, they were repackaged.
Wow.
They're being
Ziplocs.
sold as nude. Yeah.
They're being thrown in those like those tiny little Ziplocs, like illicit stuff comes in.
Dime
It's
bag.
like, yeah, little dime bags, yeah.
Can I get a dime of
It's
some
like
condoms?
little pot leaves on it, little emojis of smiley faces with dollar sign eyes,
God.
Let me get a G of some condoms, please.
Right.
little palm trees all over it.
Let me get a 10.
Says "Stay high" on it.
Yo, you got it? You got it? Got any Nicks, man? I'm looking for a Nick condom. Let me get a condom for a Nick, dog.
Oh, you
man.
talk about Sylvia? Yeah, Sylvia's got the hookup. I'll give her a call. She texts you back 3 hours later. You still need that? No.
Oh, my
At
God.
this point, I'm having a baby.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Oh,
man.
jeez.
Since we're close to the end, I got this just crazy. It's a video of a mudslide, this huge mudslide, which is just a huge chunk of land sweeping away like people's houses into the ocean. Like it's fucking
Oh,
nuts, dude.
man.
In Norway, like
Oh my God.
mudslide is not like it's just
Oh, turn the sound
Yeah,
down
turn
on
it
it. Yeah. Wow.
like that's just a big old chunk of an island like floating off into the sea. Holy shit!
Oh, I'm still trying
That
to find
sucks
the
too,
video.
because like, what do
part.
you
It
do?
might
in-
take a minute to load.
What do
Yeah,
you
there-
do
we
in
go.
that situation?
Yo,
Watch
right?
your house float away.
What if,
slide,
what if
baby.
you're a heavy
You-
sleeper and it was nap time?
And it's like even if you're watching your house float away, it's like, are you trying to get your stuff out like while like kind of like floating through this house? Like,
Right? Yeah. it would be-
Imagine running towards the mainland of that, and like this looks, folks. This looks like a block, like a little neighborhood is all moving as one piece.
Yeah, they're like
I've never seen anything like this.
you can see like 4 or 5 houses.
Am I wrong? Or
Yeah, just sitting.
Didn't something like that happen in California one time? I might be wrong.
In California, the mud slides down and buries people.
Oh yeah.
Tragically, on the
Yeah, 'cause
Hollywood
that's what
Hills.
I'd picture like a mudslide differently, but this just is like crazy.
Where would you
man.
run? Would you just jump in the water and swim away?
Yeah, you ain't gonna do shit.
I think at that point you just gotta let it rock. I would just be chill in the
You're
house.
like I live on an island now.
Yeah. Under the sea.
Oh, the house is going in.
Yeah, they're all sinking, man.
Oh, man.
The house tipped over and then went back upright. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's just nutty, man. Like, shit.
If only some balloons were tied to that house. It looks like the house from Up. Look at it spin. It's like spinning around now.
Captain Planet be crazy.
The beginning is seriously the craziest because it just looks like a neighborhood size, like a good, I want to say like 10 acres is just all moving together.
Yeah, it's just insane to see. I've never seen anything like that.
I love how this
before.
house is floating back towards the mainland now. Like, yeah, stay on the roof, ride it out. The sea will take you home. Look at this. It's spinning around. Is there a whirlpool eating stuff?
I've always
Can you
wanted to own a boat.
Can you imagine if your
Look how
car?
fast that one's going.
Can you imagine if your car's in the garage during this? Like, you just lost everything.
Yeah.
And it's
Stay-
moving fast too. Like there isn't shit anyone can do about it if you're in your house.
The houses are hauling butt back towards the mainland now. Like the water swirled back around, and now they're getting thrown back to the gaping hole where they used to be. It's like your house got rolled into the sea and then thrown back upside down onto the land.
Well, at least the mud was nice enough to return the house.
Look at the house. Yeah, it got almost all the way returned, and then it was starting to head back out again. It was like making a little circuit. Wow.
Yeah, just crazy.
House surfing. All right, Norway's not as cool as I thought. Or it's way cooler.
And then
I think it's way cooler now.
real quick,
Yeah.
so I found this article that was it's an old article about this dude who stuck his head into a particle accelerator back in 1978. And like I've seen the article a few times and just never grabbed it. So I was like, this is a blast from the past. I started looking at this article, and it's just a bunch of like 3-sentence paragraphs about a bunch of different shit about particle accelerators, and doesn't really talk. Like I went through I don't know how many pages, and I'm like, fuck it, dude.
Yeah, there is footage where it shows like the entry and exit hole.
And it's just like pictures
He
and
lived,
a bunch of
but
ads.
it buzzed through him.
And
So
then like
it
I
does-
got discouraged by
It
it.
doesn't tell you what happened to the guy, though?
I'm sure it does like all the way at the bottom, but I was just reading it, I'm like, isn't this article supposed to be about like a dude sticking his head in one and not about everything about particle accelerators?
Yeah, see, here he is here. See this burnt spot on the back of his head, and under his left nostril. And I forget which direction it went, but it went through the left half of his head. And he lived. It's sometimes stuff can fly through your head like that.
Oh yeah.
But it did make one side of his face a little droopier.
Yeah.
So one side aged and the other side didn't.
Oh, that's nutty.
Yeah. Oh no, this is a truck driver that
I was
one
like-
side of his face got sun and the other side didn't. Never mind. That's just a truck driver. Same thing. This person's cartoon of a particle beam going through this guy's head is gnarly too. Okay, now I'm itchy.
And then last thing before we go, check up on the early voting information. Early voting starts in Nevada October 17th.
Early vote.
So yeah, make sure you're registered to vote. I put a link for some voting info in the notes for you.
No matter who you vote for, don't let anyone tell you your vote doesn't count.
Yeah,
because if
fucking
you
vote.
vote for someone that doesn't win, if you vote for someone that didn't have a chance of winning, the people that have a chance of winning next time are going to look at those votes that they lost. That's still a vote that you didn't give to someone that's going to be part of the statistics that say, okay, this person stole a lot of votes. And even though they didn't win, if we adopt some of their policies, we'll get this voter, we'll get this voter, we'll get this voter. And they're going to try, the two major parties, as stuck with them as you might feel, are going to try to adopt policies you like. If you don't vote for them and vote for someone that has the policies you like, it's not throwing your vote away. It's a vote for the policies that person represents, and they're going to get integrated. It's about more than this election. It's about participation and just like weighing in. Even a corporate survey can steer the big cruise ship of this corporate oligarchy.
Yep.
So that's my message to you. Just vote for just check in on that voting, whoever you vote for. Pop in.
Jules, any last plugs?
Chef's Record should be out pretty soon. I'm going to keep releasing little 30-second clips on my Instagram if you follow me. It's Segador Manning on Instagram. And thanks, guys, for having me. It was really nice to catch up with you guys.
Yeah, always a blast, man.
Thanks for being
We'll have to get you on more often.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm always down to swing by if you guys will have me.
Of course. This has been Greasy Conversation. Hear the replay at greasyconversation.com. Stay tuned for the grungy Fawcett with Kevin Fawcett. Oh, man, don't hit the table so loud, man. That was me chastising myself if you weren't watching. Anyway, stay tuned. Tuned is what you should stay.
Chat. Sorry, Erica.
What up, Erica and Jordan in Vegas, Buck? And now I'm